Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to my channel and the Mixed Media Frenzy. That is where we all take the same sketch or layout and use it as inspiration to create our own. And this week, I believe it was Becky that picked this one out, and mine's not going to quite look like it. The basic bones will be there, though. I do love this layout. It is just that I did not have any sunset photos, or I probably would have copied it to the T. So my layout ends up going in a different direction. I pulled out that Rosie Studio stencil, and I'm going to start with it down there in the corner. This was part of my birthday present from my friend Colleen, and I thought I'd use the silver ink. I'd forgotten how sticky that stuff seems to be. It's kind of hard to rub through a stencil, but I stuck with it and got it on there. However, I'm going to go ahead and use gray for the other stuff on the layout. And that one's called Industrial. And it's just kind of like, well, I'm not exactly sure. They kind of remind me of control board welding, soldering, or whatever, or pipes or something. But I like the pattern. I do like the pattern. So I'm going to repeat it several times on the layout, and I'm going to use gray and black, so I'll have different shades on there. And I am using archival ink because I thought I would layer some paint or watercolors or ink or something later over the top of it. Only I almost forget. It's like the last thing that's going to go on the layout. And funny story about this layout. I did the wrong one last week. So this was done last week. I just hadn't done the voiceover. I was loading everything into the program and realized I needed the photo. Well, I didn't have the photo. I had the wrong photo. So I had to go in there, and this is evening, the night before Mixed Media Frenzy, and do a whole nother layout with another picture. So I was a week ahead. There is a bright side to it. And now I'm doing the voiceover. And the ink I used on my modeling paste there, it was basic black from Stampin' Up. I don't know about y'all, but it looks blue to me. I mean, I added it 3 or 4 times into the modeling paste, and it just got bluer and bluer. So I decided to go with it. And on my finished layout, you've got to kind of be looking at it to tell it's blue, because it's a very dark blue once it dries. I'm not putting any mixed media right there in the middle, really, since I know my picture's going to go there. And if you look, well, I don't know where my photo's at, but if you look at the photo, there is a green on there, and I thought this looked like the closest to that color. And it is. Once it dries, it matches the green in the photo just right. There are a couple of other colors in the photo. There's like a yellow and orange, red, and purple. I am not going to use any purple on here. I guess that black that looks more blue is probably the closest thing you're going to see to purple on this layout. The stamps I'm using are Art by Marlene. I'm thinking number 11. They're like numbered. And I'm thinking this one's number 11, and they're for mixed media. And I think it's 3 that I end up using. One, I'm not sure what is. Maybe it's some, one of them kind of reminds me of those Chinese handcuff, finger cuff things where you put your finger in them and pull and your fingers are stuck in there. Yeah, my kids loved those when they were little. And that's what it kind of reminds me of. And then there's a barcode, which, I thought was cute and couldn't resist. And then plus sign. And so there's quite a few different things on the layout. I'm using, well, this paper is nautical paper. And what the original layout's what made me think of it. I just didn't have a photo that I thought would go with it. So I am using the pieces that are not so themed, like that one there, it's striped. And then the more solid ones, I'm cutting off the part that's got pattern on the solid ones. Well, I think the light blue didn't have. And I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers file folder punch, I think is what it's called. And it kind of makes kind of tall file folder things on there. But there is one on the original layout, so I thought I would go ahead and put one on mine. And I thought at first about leaving all that, and then I thought I'll be covering up most of my mixed media. And this is Mixed Media Frenzy. So I will be cutting the file folder down. And I did use my quarter rounder on the photo and the papers and the file folder. So everything's rounded. And see, now I can put it on the layout and some of my mixed media show. But as soon as I laid it on there, I thought I need some more color here. And I'm using some of the scraps that are in there, and I'm going to use both the yellow and the polka dots. And the polka dots have the colors that is actually in the photo. And then I'm just going to end up pulling some of them out. That yellow's almost an orange. It's a yellowish orange. And I like that, so I wanted to make sure I got it on there. I'm not going to put a whole lot, just a little bit showing on each side. And that paper pad is by Glitz. And I think this is the second layout I've used with it this month. It might be later in the month that it actually um, is posted, but so far this is my second one. I've had that paper pad for years, probably close to 10. I wouldn't doubt it. And if you look right over there where the layout's at, right underneath it is a punch for the chevron. I forget all about it. It's that's there and it never makes it on the layout. But I do put an arrow on there. Well, I put a lot of stuff on there. The photos of one of my grandkids, Kyler, and we were at Burger King. And it seems like every time we'd go to Burger King, the kids would play. I mean, it's like a jungle gym in there. It's got all kinds of stuff they can play on, swing on, climb on. And they'll go 90 to nothing. And then next thing you know, they'll be sitting in this pipe. I guess it's a pipe. It's a big pipe. Anyway, they'll be sitting there resting or else on this one other part. But they learn real quick, okay, I forgot. This is not a good place to be. And the only reason I think they stopped there is because it's padded. But everybody goes through there and they're in the way when they go there. Here they just go right over the top of them and they don't have to move at all. But as you can see, there's kind of like a fence there. And so I thought I would use more industrial kind of stuff on my layout for the mixed media to go along with the metal that's there. I mean, that's what was in my head, so that's what I'm going with. And if y'all haven't noticed, I'm having a hard time deciding how much I want to show of those colors. And the arrow that I'm using is from Artful Arrows, Tim Holtz. And then I have the gears from Tim Holtz and another gear set that I've had forever. But I put them all together so I could just cut them out all at one time and have a bunch. I have it all stuck together with washi tape, and it works. It works. Of course, the washi tape's getting kind of worn. I might have to replace it all. I'm using some of my dies. I just Googled geometric shapes and came up with several. So I bought, well, 2 different times I bought till I got a few. And this one is that I'm putting on here now. It's got like an arrow going up. And I thought, well, since they climb up and all over the place in there, an arrow going up would be good. And then because of the fence thing, I'm doing the corner with the gears, and that comes in the Tim Holtz set. That's the biggest one. Actually, it's more than one, but that's the biggest piece. That's it. That's the biggest piece that's in there. And the one I just now put on, I think it actually said steampunk when I got it. And so it has gears and, well, don't have no pipe, but I know steampunk does have a lot of pipe. Anyway, I got it too, so I thought I'd put them on there. And then I'm going to put that round one on there. And I'll be done with putting the bigger pieces on my layout. And, well, do I have the arrow on there? It must have came back off. I think I seen it a second ago. I don't know where it's at. But I am going to take some more gears and do some layering and scattering of them just to have variety to go with the bigger pieces that I've got. And after that, I think I'll be getting close to getting done. I'm going to add enamel dots and some phrase stickers. Oh, and of course, like I said, I planned on adding some ink or paint or something, and I forgot it till the end. After I get my photo on there and everything, which I don't guess I really mind, because then you know exactly where you want them instead of guessing where your photo and everything else is going to go. So while I'm adding all this little extra stuff to my layout, I want to mention that down there below you find the links to all the other gals that are doing the Mixed Media Frenzy today and see what they created with the same layout as inspiration. You might even get to see some sunset photos. They might have some. But yeah, the only ones I've ever had, I did them for a friend and they are in her album. I don't even have them anymore. I'm adding foam tape to anything that is big enough to get foam tape on it. Basically, that's what I'm doing. Because there are so many gears on here that you can't add foam tape to, that I took advantage of the ones that I could. I'm going to add the exact same color of green to my layout that's on the paint and in the photo. I mean, they're all three pretty good close match. The enamel might be a tiny bit lighter. And then I'm adding orange since there is orange in the photo. And then next, I think it's next. I think I'll go ahead and add that color that I completely forgot about. No, it won't be next. I'm going to outline the layout before I do that. Yeah, I really thought I was done. And the enamel dots that I'm using are Gina Marie's, and she has a website. It's Gina Marie's Design, and they are an awesome price, $2.25 for all of them. So yeah, other than getting them on sale, I usually don't get them that cheap. So yeah, and she has dies, lots and lots of dies, stamps, and maybe some ink. I can't remember what else. She has a variety though. And I'm adding quite a few of these orange spots because I was wanting to bring the orange color out. And that paper has orange dots, green, blue, and kind of a reddish orange on there. So yeah, it does have a few colors there. Oh, I haven't added my title yet. See, I am falling down on the job. I'm not sure what I've done and what I haven't. I shouldn't have waited a week to do the voiceover. And I'm putting my title as Fave Spot. And those are some older thickers. I know I've had them a long time. But yeah, Fave Spot. Because, yeah, they usually stop there or that other place. And rest a little bit. And he's looking at me. Why is she taking time to take my photo? But yeah, I took as many as I could get. Most of the time they were too far over for it to even look like them by the time I snapped the little clicker thing on the camera. Up there I put oh snap, and it goes like this. And then I have right here, right now, love this, and just be you. Oh, and up there in the top right, I'm going to have good stuff. You won't see me put a couple of them on there because the camera went off and I didn't realize it. But they will be on there in the photos at the end. Well, actually, I think they'll be on there when I add the wild honey on here. And you know, I didn't add no splatters. I did not even think of it till just now when I looked at my layout. I wasn't doing really well at doing everything I planned on here. I will use a brush to add the wild honey ink on there. Um, oh, and I am mounting all these in black. The it's really thin paper since, it is that thinner sticker. So I wanted to mount them in black so they'd be a little sturdier on the page and hopefully not be curling up. And he looks so much like my son in that photo. If I didn't know for sure it was him, I would even think it was my son, but it is Kyler. And now I'm outlining my layout. I thought I was done then, but of course I wasn't because, yeah, I need to add some of that ink. I picked the wild honey because it matched the paper so much better than a regular yellow would. And I'm going to take a napkin and wipe most of it off. Well, blot it. I'm going to blot most of it off. And that way it's not going to have it very dark at all. It'll be pretty light, kind of translucent. And you can still see the stamping that I done underneath or the modeling paste that was underneath there too. And I'm just going to kind of scatter it around the layout in different spots. I didn't want to cover the whole layout or anything. I just wanted some spots here and there. And I really, really think that's the last thing that I do with the layout. Oh, I did add some enamel dots to the arrow, orange. I thought it needed just a little bit more orange. Only you're not going to see it until the photos at the end. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. And I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And there's my layout with the original layout that I used as inspiration. And there's my title, and I put love this by that and added enamel dots around there. There's plenty on the layout. I thought it needed more color. And all I really needed to do was add some more color with my inks or paints. And there's that cluster with the larger piece of the, well, it was a corner piece with those gears. And there's the only arrow from the Artful Arrows by Tim Holtz that made it on the layout. And I wanted to point to him right there in the place that he is at in the Burger King play area. And I really like it now that they added tables and chairs in there. Before you had to be outside. If you're lucky, it's not full and you can be on the inside with them now. And there's that one that has the arrows pointing up, the die. And yeah, I really like all these dies. I don't use them often enough at all. Well, maybe the gears I do. I do love gears though. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those you already are, thank you so much. And thank you all for watching my video and for the wonderful comments that you leave down there below. They really make my day and keep me going. Have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Bye.